My wife, she went into chiropractic college, and then by the end of it, she realized she doesn't really enjoy working with directly with people, but she really enjoys diagnostics, right? So she went into the radiology program because it's pure diagnostics without working directly with people. Now, she could have thrown the whole thing out and said, I'm never doing this, but she said, like, this is the part that I really love. And I
Yeah.
have met plenty of people that are totally burned out because they're like, I have no desire to work on blue collar males in work comp, but then you get them around new moms and babies and they are exploding with energy. They're like, I'd do this all day long for free. And that's an important thing to figure out. And for me, one thing that a couple lessons I had to learn, like my good friend in college was on the first season of The Ultimate Fighter, and he moved out here to Las Vegas, and he was in the scene of all the MMA guys when it was just growing, right? It was just kind of hitting their stride. And there I am as a young provider, like I'll treat your buddies. And so all his friends came to see me. My schedule was like half full of these guys that could all beat me up. They all had an unlimited number of things to get treated, right? They all needed treatment every day. They were awesome. They were nice. They're appreciative, but they're broke. And telling a guy that can beat you up or telling nine guys that can beat you up, hey, I need you to start paying or not coming was super uncomfortable, but it's part of the process. You realize you can't just block half your schedule and give it away to people because you'll never feed your family. And I was like, oh crap, I'm running out of money, yet I have a full schedule. So that was one realization I had. And then another one was for a little bit, I got referred like three NBA players who live in Vegas in the off season, right?
Yep.
And one thing I realized, I love working with golfers, and golfers will show up to your office at 6 a.m. Like there's no challenge. It's an early sport, but they will not show up after 4, right? They're like done for their day. NBA guys are like, the early appointments are noon, and like, they're never going to show up to your office at 6 a.m. Well, I don't like afternoons. I like 4 or 5 o'clock, I start winding down. Those NBA guys are just getting going. And I realized, oh, that's not a good patient for me because I'm half brain dead when I see them. And
Yep.
and you just learn these subtleties about finding your perfect patient, who you want to work for, and I'm sure you've seen a lot of people that it's not just that are struggling to find patients, they're struggling to find themselves. They're burned out and they're not a nice person to see simply because of the situation they're in. So I could go down that path
So,
forever, but I don't want to beat that horse.
so two things. I just asked five of my favorite chiropractors, colleagues, what did you wish you had learned in chiropractic school? I'm
Mm,
putting together a little Instagram reel about that. But one of them said, I wish I had had the tools to avoid burnout as a practitioner.
mm,
So that is a huge thing. And with being a chiropractic entrepreneur, I'm 19 years in and I'm still hustling. I'm still networking. I'm still meeting people. You never stop that. So that can lead to burnout unless you're able to diversify or unless you really love your patient base and what you're doing. The other thing I wanted to make sure to mention about the Practice Fox program and Fox Tracks is that there are two channels you get as when you purchase the program, you get both channels. So you can choose which one you want to do each module. And
mhm.
one is the brand new graduate or the student, and one is I've been in practice for 3 to 5 years and I'm lost. And so when you open module one, finding your why, for the new graduate, that's like fresh. For the practitioner that's been in 3 to 5 years, the instructions and the video prompt from me is much more about let's reassess. Are we where we thought we would be? Are we
Mhm.
happy with where we are? And so every single module, even from the mission, vision, values, and we've got a module on deciding who your patients are going to be. Who do you want to treat? And where do you want to treat? What state, city, town, neighborhood, what building type, what suite type do you want to treat in? As an existing practitioner, this is the time to reevaluate. You can always move. You can always switch from NBA players to infants. You can
Right.
add. So from every standpoint, from branding to your even from your logo to your brand name, like do you need to tweak that? So it's cool. It's a cool. So if I'm an existing practitioner of 3 years, and I'm going through a module, and the existing one I actually kind of want to revisit the student version of this module and start from scratch. So it's not, you don't have to choose one or the other. You're going to get fed the more beginner track and the more experienced doctor track, and kind of see which one you want to do that month, or maybe you want to do both of them. But
Yeah.
it's kind of it's like everybody can benefit from this, because with the book, I've had a lot of people who have been in practice 10, 20 years who've read it. And what it did for them is they said, wow, it reminded me of all the things I used to do, and I'm restarting those now. It kind of
Mm.
reignited
Yeah.
what they already were good at. So there's never like a bad time to interact with a mentor or a program that can help you feel more passionate about what you're doing.
Yeah, such a good point. And I will confirm that because you and I stood next to each other signing books, and I noticed that your line was, I would say, mostly younger, newer people in the
Yeah.
profession or students, but it wasn't only that. And there were
Yeah.
plenty of people who I'm like, I've seen you at seminars for the last 10 years, and they were like, maybe it was filling a hole that they were like, I've never really addressed this, or I would like to reevaluate this because a lot of us, we just fall into stuff, right? Like, I just do that because the guy before me did it or the practice I bought did it, and doesn't mean it's necessarily what we want to do.
Well, speaking of that, I think the practice box would be a really good idea for someone who bought a practice, because you're going to buy
Mm,
a practice that's going to be rooted in someone else's values and their why. And you're going to need to start to integrate your values and your why with existing patients. So it's a good place to be in where you're already working, but now I can work through some assignments that really help me make it my own.
Thanks for tuning in to this episode of Trust Driven Insights, brought to you by TrustDrivenCare. Imagine a world where all your patient communication is in one place, seamless, effortless, and on autopilot. That's the power of trust-driven care. If you're ready to streamline your practice, check out TrustDrivenCare.com and see what's possible. Trust-driven insights, real conversations, smarter care, stronger business.